senior licensing, blah, blah, blah.
The Doctor Who Alhambra
It's
Podcast.
going to be exciting for the whole universe
Real Doctor Who fans
because we've got nothing going,
with real Doctor Who opinions.
because nobody likes the new current iteration of the show.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Doctor Who podcast dedicated to discussing and reviewing all things Doctor Who, Big Finish, and other science fiction stuff. Joining me across the pond is...
Liam, hello.
All right. Well, this is the last time we get to have this view of this flat, because before we know it, you won't be there.
Yep. That's true. That's true.
All right. Well, on this podcast, we are going to be talking about some Big Finish stuff. I just barely finished. I'm very excited to talk about a Big Finish idea and bounce it off of you from something that I just barely finished yet. It's probably, a year and like 4 months in the making, but I got done with it. We have that news, as well as just some standard silliness, and maybe discussing the Christopher Eccleston and Billie Piper, as that series is about ready to start. They're together again and doing touring around at Comic-Cons and stuff like that. And we all know how Chris feels about RTD and crew. And it's quite interesting to see that Billie Piper, close friends, working together, and also did the cameo that has caused massive contention around the world.
Yeah. So interesting stuff. I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I guess only time will tell.
Yep.
All right. Well, first on the docket, I was looking at this. I was trying to figure it out. I'm not proud that it took me a little bit longer to figure out than I would have preferred. But I got notified of a sale at Big Finish, which is entitled 25 at 25 in 25. And I was trying to figure it out all by myself without reading the synopsis or whatnot. And then I'm like, okay, I got it. 25% off and then I finally, after, flailing horribly, I was like, okay, 25 audios at 25 years of Big Finish in 2025. And I'm like, I got it. I'm glad that they didn't do, sales at 25. Of course, there's always that with sales up to 50% off, and the ones that are up to 50% off are the ones that people are up to probably already owning. I mean, where, both you and me still already own, but
yeah.
And I was scrolling through a whole bunch, or all these 25, and Robots 2, like, just Robots 2 just caught my eye, and it was...
But why 2?
Why
not 1?
Exactly. Why not 1?
I mean, and let's face it, most people have probably bought the bundle anyway, which is what, Robots
1 through
4?
1 through 4, and then they added
did
the 2
5 and
extras.
6.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think I stopped at 4. Did I stop at 3 or 4? I can't remember.
I think I stopped listening at 3. I picked up the rest of them. I just have never...
I've got it all. I've just never
Yeah.
carried it on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, some of this stuff makes sense. I mean, oh gosh. So you have Lady Christina Series 1. Not the best, but you know what? They started at Series 1. Masterful. Okay. Good. Solid 1.
Good single box set.
The Classic Doctor's New Monsters, Volume 1. I mean, Tales of New Earth.
They'll always put that in the sale,
Oh,
and they have noticed.
well, the funny thing is at one point in time, Big Finish was selling that for more than 50% off. Like it was like at the low price of £12 or something like that.
Do you know the sad thing is, I pre-ordered that sucker when it first came out, and it's like,
It's the same.
I paid probably way too much for it, but never mind.
I know, same here. And then you have a couple of these, the the early adventures after the Daleks. Oh, this is a good one you're gonna like. The Lost Stories, The Ultimate Evil.
Oh God.
Yeah. You do have what is it? You have two Chris Ecclestons, the Back to Earth. One is the vinyl edition, and one is just a standard CD and download. And then you have again The Last Days Part 1. The War Doctor Begins Part 1. And then there, I think there's a couple of them that I kind of scratch my head at, which is the Fifth Doctor Adventures 40 Part 2.
Why would you want? Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Like, why? It's Part 2. You surely want to get Part 1. Like, anyway.
Yeah. But that one, I mean, even the Fifth Doctor, the Geronimo, Volume 3, like that was at least, if memory serves me right, the introduction of the
Valerie,
yeah.
that was it. That was the introduction of Valerie, and so a good jumping on point.
Mhm.
So that's fair. That's fair enough.
Yes.
Have you done those, by the way?
I picked them up. I have not yet listened to them, but I have picked them up.
Okay. You should, because they're really good.
I know.
And Valerie is really good.
I will tell you, I'm about 2 years in backlog. I just barely, there's a series that I just barely finished the other day. I've been excited to talk to you about it because I think there's so many fun things that Big Finish could do, especially if they get Jonathan Morris. Because I thought it was interesting because I will tell you, who's that brand new? Well, he's not new. Oh, Tim Foley. Tim Foley was the script editor of the series that I was looking at. I'm like, man, he came out of nowhere and now is script editor for multiple series. Like that is just the talent that Tim Foley has.
Oh yeah, I mean, but then I think he was, he was writing stories and stuff way, even like 5+ years ago, even maybe longer.
Mhm.
And I think just over time, he's just obviously got better at writing, and they've just given him more duties, I suppose.
Yeah.
Which is fine. And I think that's what they're going to do with a lot of these. I think eventually these new writers that they're getting on board.
Mhm.
So it'd be interesting to see. I'd like to see Jacqueline Rayner back in the fold a bit more.
Yeah.
And have her writing and doing more sort of script editing and stuff, because she's always good, a good writer. So
Mhm. Well, and so and now I just barely got notified that there's an August 2025 summer listening sale, and for 25% off. It doesn't look like it's up to; it's just 25% off. Cicero Series 1. I enjoyed Cicero Series 1.
I really had to sort of do that in bite-sized chunks. That was a bit of a drag for me.
Well, I mean,
which is a shame, because I usually quite like kind of like historical procedurals. So
well, but then there's the one that you obviously listened to, the 9.5-hour Transference.
oh yeah, I've still not done that
Well,
one.
no, that one's a part of the sale too, so you can get that for 25% off. Part of the summer listing sale, Blake 7 Warship. I believe I did purchase that for like $5 or something like that at one point in time. I haven't listened to it, but that was one that was always on sale.
It's a good audio,
Mhm.
but you have to have watched series 1 of Blake 7 in its entirety Sorry, series 1 and 2 of Blake Seven to understand what the hell's going on
Ah, gotcha.
with that. So, I mean, it's worth it,
hmm
but yeah,
And then they have Doctor Who Sword of Orion, which
good
that's a
story.
good
I
story.
mean, that's the first story I ever listened to with the Eighth Doctor. Well, that was my introduction to Big Finish.
Mm.
So,
Then we got the
always gonna be.
Survivors audiobook, which
Oh right,
I never listened to.
no.
I'm not going to list off all of them because I want to take actually I saw something on Reddit and I had it all ready to go about a month ago and I can't find the tab anywhere. It's almost I'm curious if it got deleted or something like that because there was some really heated discussion, not because of the content but because people were ruining, spoilering something that had been in, knowledge for at least 15, 20 or more years.
Ah, God's sake.
And that was, and you'll see where I'm going with this in a second because I just stopped after Sword of Orion. But the question was, what is the best jumping on point to listen to? What do I want to say? To Big Finish. Which doctors are the best jumping on points? And I was sitting there thinking because
Well, probably the 8th because he's he's on his own. He has no companions, so you can either do Storm Warning or even Blood of the Daleks.
yeah.
Um, they're both good jumping on points, really.
Well,
Um,
so let's just look at this in order. So if we go first Doctor, you have a couple of options. You either have A, the early years, or B, the Companion Chronicles, but the Companion Chronicles skip all around. So I think the Companion Chronicles have
Well,
to.
I wouldn't say that the first Doctor is a good jumping on point.
Well, no, but let's just discuss a jumping on point for each Doctor.
Mm.
And so I would almost say the early years, right? The early adventures.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And that would probably go with the second Doctor as well, too, right?
Yeah.
And then obviously you have the third Doctor adventures, which, whatever. I think the fourth Doctor is an interesting situation because it's constantly jumping around from companion to companion. And I mean, I guess if you really wanted to just have a jumping on point, just focus in on all the eighth Doctor or fourth Doctor and Leela stories and skip all the other fluff. Because
Probably it's
I mean,
probably the best
or you
option.
have to do
Or
wouldn't it be Anya Kingdom?
yeah,
Because you start with
your
Anya
companion kind of
Kingdom
thing.
and
It's
then
Anya
go
Kingdom and then jump on from there.
yeah. So then fifth Doctor, because I have a couple of ideas for the fifth Doctor.
Well, I would say definitely just because they were so self-contained. Well, it was a good box set. It was self-contained, but also not at the same time. Was the Fifth Doctor event
What is it? The iteration of I? Is that the one?
yeah, the Psychodrome, that box
Mhm.
set. Just because it really encapsulates the era, the music,
Mhm.
the companions, just the stories were really good. So I think that would be a good introduction because obviously one story is literally set right after Castrovalva, so
Yeah.
you literally cannot get any closer to TV than that one.
Yeah. I would, at least for the fifth Doctor, I think there's so many multiple correct starting on points for that because
RMM.
well, so I mean,
I had Scorpion.
well, yeah. So here's what I'm saying. I think you either have to start with the fifth Doctor and Nissa and just ride those out until you get to Aramum.
Yeah.
And then you can continue on Aramum until she leaves the TARDIS. Then you have the because then you have the oddity with the Tegan story where she's
Mm.
bitter, older, and stuff like that. But then you get Tegan, Janet Fielding comes back or whatnot, and you need to find the good jumping on point so that you can be acquainted with old Nissa. And I think if you really want to do that, you have to jump on at Cobwebs
Yeah.
because that is
Well, that's when she first appears.
well,
So.
because that's when old Nissa first appears because
Mm.
that's supposed to take place right after Terminus and Enlightenment. And then we just go straight from there into meeting old Nissa again. And then you have to see it all the way out to episode 199, I believe. I think. I'm not 100% sure. No, not 199. About 190, like 5 or something like that, because you have the 197, 198, 199 were those companions with the wrong doctor type of a situation.
Doctor, yeah, thing.
Mm-hmm. And then I think picking up the box sets would be a hard jumping on point just because they're not consistently one right after the other, unlike what they did with the Eighth Doctor. Because I think the Eighth Doctor has so many jumping on points. Well, I say so many. I think you have
a few.
I think there's a few.
Not you've literally got 3 eras, right?
Yeah.
So you literally have early McGann, which is Storm Warning.
Yes.
So you do Storm Warning, all the way up to obviously the Girl That Never Was.
Yeah.
Then you have the
Then I think you have to have the Eighth Doctor adventures
Lucy.
with Lucy Miller.
Yeah, it's Lucy. Yeah. So Blood of the Daleks.
And so yeah.
And then obviously then that goes through all the way through Dark Eyes.
Uh-huh. So I feel as though if you really wanted for the Eighth Doctor to just encapsulate them, I mean, I think that'd be the order that you'd have to listen to them in.
Mm.
And then, of course, you could always skip the Mary Shelley episodes because,
Yeah. It was a shame because I think Mary Shelley as a character, and I liked Julianne Cox actually playing Mary Shelley. I just don't think the stories were the best.
Well, I think there was so much possibility that they could have done with Mary Shelley, and I find it a shame that you had the introduction to the Eighth Doctor in Storm Warning, basically talking to either a book or you could almost say it was the conclusion of Mary Shelley's trilogy right there, or his adventures, because you
could have had multiple box sets with her.
Mm-hmm.
And then that obviously, like, as well as the whole Silver Turk thing, being the inspiration for Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Her having the knowledge of other worlds and planets, and hence so she then writes Frankenstein the way she writes Frankenstein, with the science fiction elements obviously there that were seeded because of that and because of those adventures. But and then you jump straight into Storm Warning, and he's going through the library and picks up the book about Shelley and talks about Byron and stuff. So
yeah,
but you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing because they're going back and doing early adventures with Ace and the Seventh Doctor, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then you have the Sixth Doctor, which I think the Sixth Doctor has a lot of interesting jumping on points as well too, because you have him with Evelyn, then you'll have like a Mel story here and there, then you'll have a Perry story here and there, but the Perry story and Mel stories are generally kind of one and done type of a just
thing.
Yeah.
And then it depends, and then you have the obviously older Perry stuff going on.
Well, that
with Mel again.
Yeah.
And so it does get a little bit confusing. You could even actually say as well. You could even say that for all of it's not she isn't the best companion. You could even say the Water Worlds box set
Ugh.
jumping on.
That'd be a quick
Hebe.
jumping on and jumping off point right there. But then for the Sixth Doctor, you could also, I think it would be almost mandatory if you really wanted to have a good jumping on point. I think you would have to literally listen to the Eighth Doctor and Charlie all the way up to the Girl That Never Was, and then follow it with the Sixth Doctor and Charlie too, because then that kind of continues not only Charlie's storyline, but it also continue like it. There's so
the Sixth Doctor, yeah.
I think out of all of them, the Sixth Doctor is probably the hardest one for jumping on and jumping off point, or sorry, not jumping off points, but jumping on points, because there's so many standalone stories, but then there's some that are required listening for further understanding. And then, of course, you have Constance, or no, sorry, you have Flip, that, you need to listen to all the ones that go to Flip, and then till she, you believe that she plummets to her death. And then, you have Constance. And then you have Flip and Constance. And so, and then,
and then you just have Constance, it seems, at the minute, just on her own. So, yeah, I mean, so there's quite a lot of stuff there.
Yeah. So, and then the Seventh Doctor, I mean, early on in Big Finish, the Seventh Doctor and Ace stories are just very, standalone.
Type. Yeah.
It's not until they meet Hex.
Yeah, and then you kind of have to do that whole arc with Hex. And then again, obviously, with,
And then
Eve
and then you pick up Mel again.
Mel, yeah.
And so, yeah, but I think it's a tricky question. I was surprised at how many people were like really annoyed, because as you and me were talking, you have to, it's not an easy question to just say, start here. It's, well, you need to choose.
Yeah, because there's as we've said, there's definite eras with each Doctor, and especially with the Eighth, and you could argue the Sixth, and probably the Seventh. I'd say out of all of them, I'd say the Fourth. I'd say the First to the Fifth Doctor kind of stays the same. But you can kind of, I think anyway, at least argue that the Doctor goes through more of a change, both in the Sixth, Seventh, and Eighth Doctor's ranges, and that's more obvious to see. 1, costumes; 2, personality; and 3, companions, and they all kind of have a bearing on, each of those Doctors.
Yeah.
So,
all right. So yeah, I came across that. I thought that would be fun to talk about and dissect, and I do appreciate, your corrections as needed and stuff. So,
I mean, I'm not an expert on this stuff, but
Next, we have Big Finish Scribe Award nominees for 2025, and I saw this. I was gonna, again, very excited to hear what you had to say, because I am very far behind in a lot of my listening. There are 5 things that were up, and it looks like, have they already announced the winners? Once again, Big Finish Productions is proud of the 5 writers who've been nominated in the clean sweep of the Scribe Awards for blah, blah, blah. Okay. So we have, let's see. So the announcement of the winners were done on the 25th of July, 2025. So looks like the winners were probably announced. You have Doctor Who, the Ninth Doctor Adventures. Let's see, Archip- Archipelagical, I think.
Archipelago.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Thank you. And according to this in the cover art, it was in the Star-Crossed Adventures. So this was released in May of 2024. And this one, the synopsis, this is done by Lizzie Hopley. Tim Foley. Sorry. It says River Song has one last request. As the Doctor undertakes a dangerous journey with her on the planet Fortuna, she'll never bother him again, but this is no ordinary voyage. As the storm battles their tiny vessel, the travelers are confronted with some brutal home truths. There is a captain in search of a husband. There is a ship in need of a light. And there are lovers lost in the maelstrom who will always be islands apart. Interesting.
No, that was a good story, actually. That's the final story in the box set.
Mm-hmm.
It's where kind of River and the Doctor finally get sort of like to actually meet and actually, talk properly.
So she doesn't be all mysterious with
No.
Well, so does he forget her at the very end? Because he has to?
Yeah, but it's done quite well, and it's like I said, it's a really good story. Actually, it's very much a character piece.
Okay.
That one, so it's So if you like your sort of character pieces, then that's definitely one to check out.
So then the other one is the Eighth Doctor Adventures Uncharted 1 from the Reflections.
Not listened to it.
I have not listened to this either. This is the third story called Cascade by James Moran. The synopsis is Cass is falling through the time stream of the universe, splintering into chronology. She keeps encountering the Doctor and Alex, but for them, it is the first time that they've met her each time. Cass must fight to center herself, fight for her existence, and fight for her friends to even remember her. Okay, so it's kind of like a Groundhog's Day-ish type of a situation.
Yeah.
All right. Then you have the Eighth Doctor Adventures Nowhere Never from the same Reflections box set. And that one is done by Catherine Armitage. So Cass is lost in her place, a suburban housewife counting the hours until her family returns, but terrifying air raids are ripping through her calm. The Doctor and Alex are trapped patients in strange hospital run by fearsome matrons, but they both have been injured by a war, but neither remembers exactly which war. They all will soon realize that time is not on their side. Okay. And then, interesting. I think you listened to this last one, or this second to last one. It is Doctor Who, Classic Doctors, New Monsters, Faithful Friends, The Krillitane Faint. Is that what it is? Krillitane Faint?
Yeah.
By
Fate.
by John Dorney. And it is the TARDIS brings the Doctor, Jamie, and Zoe to a planet where a secure research base is conducting disturbing experiments. A group of captive Krillitane are test subjects for military power, keen to understand their species' unique abilities, but who are the real monsters here? All right.
That's actually a really good story, I must admit.
See, I almost picked that box set up, and I just, because of the dog people, the Lupari from Flux, I know it sounds stupid, but that was the main reason that prevented me from picking that up. Maybe I'll just wait for.
No, you should, because it's actually a really good box set. The Lupari story is a bit weird, but it doesn't ruin them, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And then the last one is Star Cops Blood Moon, A Cage of Skies by James
Haven't
Wall.
got to that one yet. I'm still working my way through volume. Is it series 3? Is it Mother Earth? I think it's Mother Earth. So haven't got to that one yet. But
And
again, if you like your sort of police procedurals, then they're sort of quite grounded, then it's a good series to check out.
And there's a joint winner for this. The first one was at the Archipelago or whatever you said it was.
Archipelago.
Yeah, that one and the Star Cops one are joint winners for the category that they were in.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think archipelago refers to I think it means a group of islands or a group of is it an island? Is it like island in a certain shape? It's definitely a nautical term or something, I think, but it means something to do with islands or something.
All right, so let's talk about some of the news and some of the new things that have come out or announced. I've not listened to it. I've not listened to the trailer. I know you probably have. The Bernice Summerfield, the Dalek Eternity.
I haven't, but I think you'd be interested in that one. Because it's look at the last story title for Dalek Eternity 4.
Okay, let's see. Dalek Eternity. We got Dalek Eternity 4.
No, is it 4 or is it 1? It might be 1, but the last story in 1.
Last story in 1. I don't know. I'm not. I see. So I'm just going to look at this announcement right here. It says a new Dalek master plan. Ooh, that's got me interested right there. Let's see. Threatens the galaxy. A deadly alliance is building. Can Bernice Summerfield save us? Professor Summerfield must defend the universe from the evil invaders from Skaro in the latest full cast audio adventures, Dalek Eternity. This epic story is told over 8 30-minute episodes, beginning with Benny at her new home, a club for interstellar explorers, as visited in last year's series, Bernice Summerfield, The Eternity Club. When the Daleks show up, setting off a quest across the stars. Her fight back will take Benny to planets ruined by the Dalek occupation, to an idyllic world where they have yet to reach. And the threat is imminent, extermination is ever present, and no one is guaranteed to be safe. Let's see. So we have Dalek Eternity 1, which is set to release September 2025. We have The Lonely Bomb by James Goss and Satrap by Felicia Barker. Then number 2 is a month later. Oh, look, we almost got a monthly release going on. It gives you something to look forward to.
Yep.
Let's see, called The Winter's Tale. And then the next one is Oversoul. And then Dalek Eternity 3, which is in November 2025, is done by Quisling. And I see what you're talking about. The title for the, I guess, episode 6 of Dalek Eternity 3 is We Don't Talk About Mavic Chen.
Yeah. So I thought that would get your interest. It definitely piqued mine.
And Tim Foley is the writer for that one, so
go figure.
Yeah. No, I'm now very curious at the production credits. So it looks like script editors for this is both James Goss and Tim Foley. So both writers are, very, very strong with Big Finish. Directed by Scott Hancock. He's back?
I don't know. I didn't think he was, to be honest. Unless it was his last hurrah, as it were. I'm not sure. When was it directed? When was it done?
Let's see. Backstage recorded the 16th of December, 2024.
I guess he might. Well, I suppose he's out of work, isn't he? Because of the Disney deal's gone to shit.
Well,
so
but
probably is.
I mean, if they recorded season 2 last year, then and they were just waiting for it, I guess it just makes sense that he is
Comes
back.
back, yeah. Interesting. Have you listened to the last season box set of Benny? The what's it even called? Blanking on the name. The Eternity Club or the
No,
what's it called?
the Dalek Eternity.
No, the one previous to that.
Let's see. You have, according to this, the last one that they did for Benny was Blood and Steel.
No,
Unless you're talking about
more.
Dark Gallifrey.
No, there's one that's after that. I say after Blood and Steel. It's season 8.
No, season 8 is the Eternity Club 1.
Yes, it's the Eternity Club, and then you've got the Dalek Eternity or something or whatever.
No, I didn't know that.
Because basically this one that's coming out is basically like the follow up to the one that came out last year,
Oh,
which is
interesting.
the Eternity Club. So
Okay.
that's why Benny's there. So
Interesting. Okay.
you should give it a go. It's good.
All right.
All
right. And so that, yeah. Oh, we don't talk about Mavic Chen anymore. Perfect title to at least, you know what, for one person on the podcast. Yeah, perfect title to, speak to them.
you in.
Have you listened to, I went to start listening to Dark Gallifrey, and then I just decided not to. There's no rhyme or reason.
I have done 3 series of Dark Gallifrey. I haven't done Master yet. Part 1 of Master. I still don't really know what the point of Dark Gallifrey is. Honestly, I don't think anyone does at this point currently. Still, I mean, the Missy stuff was pretty good. I loved the interaction between her and the Seventh Doctor. That was a great bit, there. Don't quite know where the actual story or plot's meant to be going, but we'll see, I guess. The Morbius stuff wasn't bad, as I say, and then you had what was the second series?
Was it another Master? Was it not Jacoby?
Yeah, the War Master, which again wasn't bad. Again, it's all very sort of self-contained at the minute, and I'm like, well, where's this going? Like, there's no real like they talk about Dark Gallifrey, and that's it. But there doesn't seem to be any kind of effect from season to season at the minute of what's really going on. Like, we don't know what really the point of Dark Gallifrey is, or why the Masters and Missy have an interest in Dark Gallifrey yet. So I don't quite know what to make of it. So I can't really comment. Like, as self-contained series, they're not bad, but I was a bit more hopeful that by now we'd have some kind of indication of what the hell's going on. But we don't. So we'll see. Could go either way at this point, I think.
Gotcha. Let's see. So let me just double check. Has the first episode of the 13th Doctor
Yes.
been released? Have you listened to it?
Yes.
You have?
I have, yeah.
What are your thoughts?
And all I'll say is, why the hell didn't they write for her like this on TV?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. What's great about it is the Doctor actually has a personality, and Yaz makes her answer questions, which is great. Literally forces her into basically answering questions, and I'm like, good. Why didn't you do this in the show? You- uh, uh, this is how Yaz and the Doctor should have been written. Yeah, the story itself is a very paint by numbers Doctor Who story, but I think as an introduction to the 13th Doctor on audio, that's fine. Perfectly fine. And there's going to be obviously 11 more stories, so we've got 11 more hours of that relationship to develop. But I'm like, well, why wasn't the 13th Doctor written like this on TV? Because if she was written like this on TV, that would have been fine. People wouldn't have had an issue with the 13th Doctor.
Yeah.
And it's just such a shame because you can see the potential that they've both have now on audio. And it's like, well, that it was just so wasted on TV. Completely wasted. So, yeah.
Okay. Let me just double check something. Let's see. What was it called? It was
What, the 13th Doctor?
Yeah.
The Vampire Weekend.
Vampire Weekend. Okay. Let me just Vampire Week. Okay. All right. So, on the timescales, currently, it has an average rating of 7.8. And I say that because judging from what I just saw on Big Finish, you would have thought that this has been the most phenomenal release that has ever been released in all of Big Finish releases.
Why?
So, when you go to the, when you're looking at the, where you can order the episode and whatnot, and it goes to, it has the about, there might be a video, there's the backstage that tells you when it was recorded. There might be a couple pictures, then you have the cast, everybody's whatever, and then there's the production credits. And then sometimes you have the review and awards.
X section. Yeah.
Normally, the reviews and the awards, 1, maybe 2, or whatnot. I mean, okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. Before I even, because it's gonna come across, I'm gonna give it a slight, and I don't mean to. So I'm gonna look at. So this came out at the very beginning of July 2025.
Yep.
You have also in July 2025, Dark Gallifrey Master Part 1 with Eric Roberts. You have the audio novel, Doctor Who, The Mere Matter. Then you have The Fugitive Doctor, Dead or Alive. And then Sullivan United. And then Torchwood, Children Free. So I am going to click on The Fugitive Doctor, Dead or Alive. And currently, there is about, there's video, there's backstage, there's cast, there's production credits, no award or, review tab. Okay. And again, I want to point out just how odd what I just saw is. And I'm going to try to find something that I'm trying to find something that would be equally as,
Momentous.
Yeah, momentous or something like that. So I'm looking at, Dark Gallifrey Missy Part 3. There's nothing. There's no review tab. There's nothing. I'm going to go Time War Uncharted 2 Pursuits, which came out in June. Okay, I do have a review. There's one by Geek Vibe Nation. Okay, so just know that I had to go back 2 months to find one review. Now, granted, 13th Doctor, this is a new range or whatnot. I will be expecting the amount of praise with the 9th Doctor and Rose box set because when I click on review and award, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Jesus.
10. I've never seen that many.
Is that the most reviews of any range?
I have never seen more than maybe 4. There could be one that is 5, but I've never seen one that is 4. or multiple ones that are 4. And so I find it quite interesting that
either the praise is warranted, and I mean, and yeah, like I said, if the 13th Doctor on Yaz was written like this on TV, I don't think people would have had an issue, genuinely, because I didn't. But I do think that they're perhaps maybe trying to sell this range because of how bad the era was.
Okay, so I have an idea. I'm going to go to the Fugitive Doctor, and I'm going to go to the first box set, because I'm going to see how many reviews they have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so now I'm going to go Call Me Master. I'm going to go to that one for that first box set and see what the reviews are, because I think, one, I mean, either it is really that good, or like you're saying, they are really trying to sell this sucker so badly.
To be fair, they put out like a YouTube video thing behind the scenes, and it was like 15 minutes long, and I'm like, you've never done that before with any other behind the scenes thing?
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, I just think they are just trying to sell this range to the hilt, really.
Yeah. Okay. Even though it was I did not like it. I didn't think it was that great. The Ninth Doctor Adventures, Ravengers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll tell you, Ravengers actually has multi-sentence reviews.
Wow.
Whereas this Ninth Doctor one, the Tin Dog Podcast, 1 sentence. Geek Vibe Nation, 1 sentence. Futurism, whatever that is, 1 sentence. Blue Box Podcast only pulled part of a sentence with the review 9 out of 10. Cult Box gave it 3 words.
Wow.
Bleeding Cool gave a sentence 8.5. Hogan Review, 1 sentence.
Dude, seriously, if you can get paid to do a review in a sentence, fucking sign me up.
Yeah.
Where's my 2-figure? Where's my triple figure salary? I mean, come on, guys.
I mean, and then
Jesus.
FX, I don't know, magazine website or whatnot. They did it in about 4 words, 5 words if you don't count the hyphenated 1 word. A fun, character-driven whodunit. Doctor Who Magazine. A fun, character-driven whodunit. Holy cow. Doctor Who Magazine and
Whoa. Did you just read that twice?
No. One of that was a quote from FX Magazine, or SFX. And the other one is done by Doctor Who Magazine.
Bullshit.
Nah, I'm looking at it right now.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Lazy.
Well, and you know what? I do believe you. I believe, you were the one that we had to massively talk into listening to the Flux.
Yep.
And, I think you were the first one to really turn on, well, I think I was always skeptical of Chibnall, but I was always optimistically hopeful. I mean, and then I think Legion was also optimistically hopeful, and I think you were the one that was just like, it's just, once it got crap, it's never coming back.
Yeah. And I mean, I wasn't wrong, was I?
No. Nope. History will judge you kindly, sir.
Well, that remains to be seen. We'll see.
So let's see. I want to go to, let's see, where did I have my tab for? where there's the timescales tab. So timescales they have written review 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 written reviews. And of all the written reviews, multiple 8s, and the people who wrote these things, I mean, one person must have done probably about 3, word pages and stuff like that on the whole thing. Like, they're not short reviews. And I feel as though I feel like if you can give a review, unlike what Big Finish did, is cherry pick one sentence or not, it's in one part of one sentence and put it on there. I don't think you're fully selling it. You're trying to get like, look, these people said,
look, we've got 10 reviews. Yeah, okay. All right.
I mean, what was it? Liam, if you were to have a review for Flux and they were to use it like in, Doctor Who magazine, Liam's review would have been like, I hear it was all in focus.
No, my review for Flux would literally just be 2 words: PFFT. Why?
Well, no, I'm trying to give them something that they would use. So, you're saying something positively, like, I heard it was all in focus. The sound.
I hear that there was a couple of good, good wide angle shots.
But yeah,
amazing CGI.
Yeah, I mean, again, not to be super skeptical, but to have the most reviews ever, and then SFX and Doctor Who magazine have the same quote.
That's so bad.
Yeah.
That's so bad. Oh, man.
Well. All right. I do have a question for you. So I finished
Just one?
Yeah, well, many, but I finished just this week the 4-part Sontaran Rutan War series. Yeah, I know it came out a while back.
Yeah.
But I finally got around to it. And I will tell you, I like it, but I'm also massively disappointed by the entirety of it all.
Really?
And well, so the Third Doctor was the first one, and it took place in Northern Ireland and whatnot, the Giant's Causeway. And I thought that was, what was it?
8th Doctor.
It was 8th? Was it 8th Doctor? No, the 8th Doctor wasn't the Giant's Causeway. Oh yeah, you're right. It was the 8th Doctor.
Because the Third Doctor one was with Joe and Brig and Unit and the
correct.
The Rutan in disguise who went native.
Yeah, you're right. So it was the 8th Doctor, the Third Doctor, the 6th Doctor, and then the War Doctor.
Yeah.
And
do you know what I liked about the Sontarans versus Rutans? And the one thing I noticed was the music.
Yeah.
There was that thing with the sort of xylophone bit. They did that not sting, but almost like melody.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really kind of quite atmospheric, that worked quite well. So yeah, that was a thing that was I remember about it, because the music was quite catchy, which doesn't often stand out to me. So yeah, sorry, continue. You were saying you liked it, but you didn't like it at the same time.
Yeah, so I mean, I found it a puzzle through time, and you knew it was going to be so many doctors in and out of order, and I get that. I sign off on that and whatnot. The struggle that I have, though, with everything is, how it all. Okay, so the first episode was quite interesting, different but interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one with Joe, which basically it was almost like this is what the Rutans would be doing. Like
Yeah.
there's
The
no surprise.
the only bit that follows through is the scene at the end with the DNA thing.
Uh-huh.
They tried to get out that. I think was it a distress call, or they get out that, or they get the like a DNA sample or whatever,
Yes.
and that's being the thing that then follows through to the Sixth Doctor and the War Doctor stuff. Bar that, the story was pretty self-contained, and I'd say out of all four of them, I'd say the weakest is definitely the Third Doctor story for me.
Yeah, well,
personally,
because the Third Doctor one is again prototypical. This is what Rutans would do in order to invade and to try to slowly take over. And it was something that they were kind of doing in the first one with the Eighth Doctor, but they weren't doing it well. And everything was
well, no, because they weren't Sontarans, were they?
well, no, but you don't know that
No,
at the time. You only know that at the fourth part of everything. But they were doing it, but they weren't doing it well. And then the next one was they were doing almost the same exact thing, and they were doing it well, but also not good enough to, hide it from both the Doctor and Joe at the same exact time. The third one, that was my favorite one out of them all, for two reasons. First off, you had a Charlie who had already experienced the Rutan and Sontaran thing. And so she was
event. So she couldn't say anything.
So she couldn't say anything. So she was struggling with this. And then you had the, spoilers, if you haven't listened to it, scrub ahead a little bit. But you have the whole the Rutans trying to change and modify their body to pass off as Sontarans, and then also put a chemical in the Sontaran hatching batches that would actually modify them
Sontarans,
to be Rutans. And I found that quite interesting.
And also it was quite a dark story, wasn't it, really?
Mhm.
Like
I mean, everybody died except for the Doctor, Charlie, and then the one
that one Sontaran.
Uh-huh. And so I really
who bloody died anyway.
Yeah, he died anyway.
But anyway. And then obviously you get the War Doctor one once again, which is quite dark.
And that was fantastic. The only thing that I didn't like was immediately the one Gallifreyan person who was speaking after the Rutan basically terrorist activity blowing up a Time Lord station or something like that. When they were having a council discussing it all, she was angry and yelling and, as one would be. But, when she called them gelatinous green blobs, it was just like, that's a Sontaran. I don't know how that happened, but she is not a Gallifreyan. It was one of those things where I felt as though it was, I don't know if they meant it to be obvious to the listener, but not obvious to anybody else. But how she was speaking just didn't add up to what I was expecting it to be. And I felt as though that was a letdown. And then what the other letdown one is, I would have appreciated more of a Sontaran Rutan war, much like the
Dalek
Empire, where the Doctor and companion are going from various
battlefield to battlefield.
Correct. And then having the dubious nature of what the Rutans were doing and then the Sontarans were doing or whatnot. But then to kind of, again, almost undo everything because there was a grandfather paradox on top of a bootstrap paradox or whatnot. And then in eventuality, none of it really happened, but it did, but it also mostly didn't. And
Well, I mean that's the one problem with the Time War, though, isn't it? Because a lot of the stuff is gonna happen, but not happen
well, I
because it
know,
has to get,
but for
which
it,
is, and but
but for it to be the Centarans versus Rutans, I feel as though they could have done it so they could have done such a good job with that. And I
mm,
feel as
mm.
though there was a couple things that I would have preferred, like,
I mean, yeah. I mean, I really like the box set. Or a mini series, I
yeah,
suppose. It was good. Um, like it was nice to go back to single releases and know that something was coming out each month.
uh-huh.
Like before. So that was I think a draw. As I said, the music was really good, but yeah, what I liked about it was we've never actually delved into the Sontaran written conflict. Like, this is why haven't we done this? Why haven't we done this before? This is fantastic. However, I do agree with you. I think it would have been cool to um, have each story and have them have each Doctor go across and be sort of fighting on a different, or being part of a different battlefield scenario.
Hmm.
Um, it culminating in the War Doctor being sent somewhere to stop said battle or to get said thing, DNA or whatever, but the battle not be undone. So I would rather it be, yeah, you're part of the Time War, but I don't know, a DNA thing. This DNA technology has gone through time, and you have to go to this particular planet to retrieve it. Otherwise, it's reprehensibly gonna alter the Time War, and the Sontarans and Rutans are going to become way more of a threat than they already are. So yeah, I do think that would have been cooler to see and have a more of a straightforward kind of a thing, um, in essence. But at the same time, I'm glad that they did it, because yeah, I mean, like I said to you before, I was harping on for ages.
Hmm.
Why haven't we done a Sontaran versus Rutan
Yeah, yeah.
thing?
The
You
only
know,
thing that they now need to do is just do a Quark Empire type of a situation.
they kind of did in the Fourth Doctor box set in series 13.
Okay, I'm behind on that one, so I guess.
You should. It's really good, actually, and it's actually really dark.
Mm,
It really puts the Dominators in a real, slave trader
hmm.
pirate kind of a light, and they're not comical at all. Actually, they're quite nasty, which is interesting. So definitely worth checking out.
All right.
Um,
So, I do have a follow-up question for you on that, but
mm,
here, well, not on that part, but mm, where do I want to
mm,
go? Because I could go either way. All right, I'm gonna go with this question right here. So, the Centauran Rutan War was sold to us as a Doctor Who series, not worlds of Doctor Who.
mhm,
And one of the things that I'm kind of slightly annoyed at with Big Finish, because I feel as though there is concern to not have a doctorless world of Big Finish go without a doctor. Unlike the
mm.
Cybermen, unlike Dalek
Dalek Empire.
Empire,
Yeah, yeah.
you go into, I mean, like Idavros still didn't. You could,
No.
and I'm not even looking at Jago and Lightfoot, because I feel as though Jago and Lightfoot, for me, took off when they threw the Doctor in. Missy, like, yeah, or the Patronus game. You told me, the second Doctor's in this one. Then there's another Doctor that makes an appearance in this one,
Mhm,
and it was at that point in time. And then I was reflecting on the War Doctor, how that's how they kept
mm,
on stringing me along for the longest time. Is okay, so we're gonna have the Eighth Doctor make an appearance, then we're gonna have the
Oh, you mean the War Master stuff?
the War Master. Sorry. Then we're gonna have the 10th Doctor make an appearance, and I was just like, I'm done with this. Then we kind of don't really have much of new things in Worlds of Doctor Who. Obviously, River Song is, but she's connected. It's okay. But what you have is,
I mean, the only one that again that works, and if he wasn't in the story, it wouldn't make that much of a difference. So it doesn't really impact the story. Is Planet Crinoid.
Okay, so, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because that's again where I was going to go. So with this one, obviously it is marked not just Worlds of Doctor Who, but this is a Doctor Who series, which is featuring not the Crinoids, the Sontarans and the Rutans. However, you have Planet Crinoid, which was, I believe, contingent on the 8th Doctor being there. You have Zygon Century, where they threw in the 2nd Doctor in one of the episodes. I haven't gotten back.
Haven't listened to.
I haven't gotten back. I'll tell you, that first episode is so boring. Like, whenever I think about picking it up again, I just think about how boring it was, and I just don't get back to it. But again, and then, like, you've shared with me before, you had, the 2nd Doctor or whatnot, you had the other Doctor show up with the Passionist Gang or whatnot, and I feel as though we now need to have a modern Doctor or a Doctor in the Worlds of Doctor Who stuff to get an audience to come in and listen to it. Unlike, again, Cybermen, Dalek Empire, Davros. Like, if you would have thrown any of those Doctors in there, and you could say, yeah, maybe with the Dalek Empire, the 7th Doctor was thrown in there, but it was a one and done, and it was a subscriber bonus.
Yeah. I see. Yeah. I mean, I'm you know me. I'm all for villains and stuff, and I know that they can stand on their own. I mean, look, they're doing it with bloody Unit. The war between the land and the sea that nobody wants, right? So, like, you don't need a Doctor, and Big Finish again have proven themselves that they can do series without the Doctor. Dalek Empire, as you say, Davros, Cybermen. All good series. So we don't need a Doctor. Like, again, Planet Crinoid, really good. And I tell you what was really good about Planet Crinoid, if we've not spoken about it before on a podcast.
No, we haven't.
It's nice to return to an adult-oriented series.
Yes.
Like, there are bits you go, "Ooh, Christ, that was dark," but like, it was good, and I'm like, yes, this is what Doctor Who needs. Just give us a bit more dark. Give us more adult content. People are not stupid. If they want to engage in more mature stuff, then go for it. Doctor Who has that range, and I suppose you can also argue that to a lesser degree, Star Wars and even Star Trek, you can do more mature content, right?
Yeah.
But Doctor Who does lend itself quite well to adult content. So I think it wouldn't be a bad thing if I mean, I hope they do more Planet Crinoid stuff, because it's actually a really good series. So I want it to continue. But no, I would like to see more. And again, you could do a range. You could do I don't know, have like a banner, and have it as like a, I don't know, adults only, or something range.
Well, kind of like how DC had Vertigo range, and that's where the Sandman universe kind of existed.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Or like, there's a couple of audiobooks on Audible, which is Marvel Crime, right? So you've got like Jessica Jones and Daredevil, and it's specifically for a more mature audience. So it's you do it, go for it.
Mhm.
Like it's got the legs to do it, and because of all the and this is the thing that was kind of annoying me about. I think it was the sort of Disney era of Doctor Who was that you've got so many different villains, right? You've got so many different species of aliens and stuff in the universe. We don't have to focus on Daleks and Cybermen. That was it. Yeah, it was Reddit, and people going, "Oh, oh, I want the Master to return." No, I want the Master to take a break, please. Can we not have the Master in modern Doctor Who for about 10 years plus, please?
Mhm.
And ease back on the Daleks and Cybermen. You've got so many monsters that you could bring into modern Doctor Who. The Quarks, Dominators, the again, the Rutans, what are the South African ones? The
The Cybermen.
the South African the Crotons.
Oh, Crotons. Uh-huh.
You bring back the Zarbi. There's so many different monsters you could bring back. And I think for me that's why the RTT 2 era was such a letdown, because it's like, oh, we're bringing Omega back, brilliant, it's about bloody time, bring him back, and bring back the Time Lords while you're at it as
Mhm.
well. Oh no, wait, you didn't do that. Okay, great.
No, but Omega needs to, feast upon the Time Lords, though, because that was part of the speech.
Yeah, was it? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, and again, like the Rani, cool. The monk, like
Yeah.
you've got massive scope to bring all these villains. Again, the Krynoid. I mean, Christ, can you imagine can you imagine like a Doctor Who meets Torchwood TV show with the Krynoids? Like,
Mhm.
is sort of Walking Dead kind of thing, but for adults on TV. That would be amazing. Sort of meets sort of like the Last of Us type thing. Like that would sell really well.
Well, I was
Just have a limited series of the Krynoids invading a planet and just wreaking havoc.
well, I was expecting a Last of Us because that's what it was almost billed as. And I was hoping that, the Krynoid seed had kind of like mutated or whatnot, and it would have had, not these like, towering inferno Krynoids that are going to engulf the Earth or whatever planet that they landed on, but that it had evolved to a point, kind of like when they did the in Dalek Empire with
The Varga plants.
the Varga
Yeah.
plants, with the
Yeah.
running ones, like that.
Oh my God! Can you imagine? That? Right? If they
Mhm.
did that, right? So if you have the I don't know, the Daleks or whatever there, and the Krynoids land, and so they get wiped out, but before they do, they seed Varga plants, and you have like I think that could be really cool to have the Krynoids versus the Varga plants, and then you got some poor like human saps just stuck in the middle, just trying to survive. Like, I think that could be. I think that could be fun.
Mhm.
But yeah, because then you've got you've got so much range of, oh well, these Vargas are mutating and these Krynoids are mutating, and there's and like, so you could almost have like a species kind of war between the two. And they're sort of coming out with different genetic strains and different things, and so you could have all the different kind of like Last of Us zombie types, that could appear, but just from a Doctor Who point of view.
Mhm. Yeah.
I think that would be really good. But hey, what do I know? So
Yeah. I just listen to the fans, unlike what Chibnall did, and probably RTD Part 2. Listen to the fans.
yeah, I know, right?
Mhm. All right. So before we go on to the last thing, I want to bounce this off of you. This goes back to the thing that I really appreciated with Charlie and the Eighth Doctor and Charlie and the Sixth Doctor from the Sontarans versus the Rutans is that was so much fun. I would almost like it. I don't know how they would do it, but I would like some sort of like meddling monk or Gallifreyan array to swap doctors with companions, and the older one having experienced something that the younger one has not yet, or something like that. So, for example, you have Sarah Jane with the Third Doctor, and she experiences something with the Fourth Doctor, but then gets kicked back to the Third Doctor. You have,
Yeah.
Jamie. I mean, I think it would be harder with Jamie, but or you could do Ben and Polly. Ben and Polly experienced something with the Second Doctor, but they second, but then they get kicked back.
Then go back to the
First Doctor.
Yeah.
Just playing around with something like that.
You'd have to recast Ben obviously again, or get what's his name?
Richard Dreyfuss.
No, that was the Master. Elliot.
Yeah, Elliot Chapman.
That's it. Chapman back. So that would be good. But yeah. Do a sort of locum doctors, but with companions thing.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun. Because I mean, you could always do it with so many especially like the long-lasting companions that have, I think it'd be more fun to do it with two doctors that had the same companion for a while. And just to, I don't know. I was just thinking about how fun that would be.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, again, use Carol Ann Ford as Susan. Get her back. Get Annika Wills back as Polly. Like, I miss not having Polly doing stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm biased anyway, because I'd say that's probably one of my favorite, probably still eras of the Second Doctor's era, just because it was sort of the first era, or one of the first eras I was introduced to with the Second Doctor. But I just love that dynamic of Ben and Polly and Jamie, and just Ben and Polly. It just works. You could argue that they were the first companions really to do sort of like modern companions for the time. So it would be good to have more Polly and Ben.
Well, yeah, and my rationale for it was because of what happened with what is it? Main range release 198, 199, 200, where it was they were the companions with the wrong doctor, and the doctor was had to spend at least the first part of the second episode trying to convince them who they were, whereas the companions already knowing who they were, but knowing that they can't, they've had this experience before, but they can't, that they have enough knowledge of not telling the doctor, hey, I did this with you before, and kind of like what Charlie had to do.
Yeah. I mean, interesting. What I would like to see, actually, that I think would be kind of cool, would be to see. So, like, you were saying, obviously, companions and stuff, and doctors, but like, I think it would be fun to say, have I don't know, Yaz be catapulted back to, say, like the first Doctor's era, and then Polly to, say, like the 13th Doctor. Really sort of mix it up, like, and mix up some of the perhaps not lesser known companions, but companions, and sort of pair them up with really more unusual choices of Doctor. I think that could be fun. So like get Pearl Mackie on board with Bill, and have her, I don't know, we'll say like the 7th Doctor or something. But yeah.
All right, one last thing before we head off, and that is the mixed media. If only there was, some sort of doomsday-ish Time Lord Victoria's situation that we have had access to before to kind of almost figure out, will this be successful? Oh, wait, there has been.
Twice, and according to everyone bar me, it seems, yeah, it was successful, according to people on Reddit.
Yeah.
Mind you, I call bullshit, but okay, that's my opinion, and you are wrong. But there you go. Yeah, circuit breaker.
So, according to this article on DoctorWhoTV.co.uk, Circuit Breaker, a mixed media Doctor Who story featuring the fugitive Doctor. The press release goes, the BBC Studios, in collaboration with BBC Audio, Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who Magazine, East Side Games. Crap, there is a buttload right here. Penguin Random House and Titan Comics.
Yep.
Oh, my word.
Yep.
They are excited to announce the upcoming launch of Circuit Breakers, a groundbreaking mixed media Doctor Who story set to debut in 2026. Well, here's one positive I'm going to say about this. It's not during a lockdownish type of an era, which prevents things from coming out at actual, consistent times. Because I think that was one of the issues that was occurring during the Time Lord Victorious, where they weren't able to get many of this stuff done.
Well, I mean, the thing that really bothered me about Time Lord Victorious was they didn't bother to put the main bloody novels in audio.
No.
And I'm like, that's the one thing that really pissed me off about Time Lord Victorious, was because it was like, well, we've got this event, but the only way you can read the event is to, actually complete the event and do the main part of the event is to read the ebook or read the book.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter that the Big Finish audios introduce some, certain characters and whatever. But I just that still baffles me.
Yeah.
I'm like, BBC Doctor Who, or BBC Worldwide or whatever, release a fuck ton, an absolute butt ton of audios.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you didn't think to release those in audio? I just don't understand that.
Well, it cost money, Liam, and it was really inconvenient for them to spend it.
Clearly. So yeah, that still bothers me about Time of Victorious, because maybe I would have had less vitriol against that particular multimedia project if they'd actually released the main bit in audio, because I think that would have made the whole event a lot more palatable.
Yeah.
Which they didn't do. And then don't even get me started on Doomsday.
Yeah. Not going to. We had so many podcasts about that. That was, and oh my word. Well, that's essentially that's how I got kicked out. I am going to be making a podcast going over not only me getting kicked out of that Facebook fan page group, but to the extent that group is now like in lockdown. Like it is in so lockdown.
Is it?
Oh yeah. I'll have to make a podcast describing what I did to try to rejoin that group.
You so should.
I
don't. I don't know. Talk about censorship. It's there's obviously things that've been going on in the news. Where they're trying to censor the internet, aren't they now?
Oh, I know. I heard that.
Like,
that's insane.
It's crazy. It's utterly insane. And I'm like, yeah, the Big Finish group were doing this like years ago. And
I mean, the Big Finish group was just like, you call that censored? We kick people out from laughing face emoji.
I know.
All right. So the press release continues. It says spanning audio dramas, comics, mobile games, novels, and digital storytelling. Circuit Breaker is a bold new chapter in the Whoniverse, offering an ambitious interconnective narrative that will unfold across multiple formats, inviting fans to experience the mystery from every angle. The overarching narrative is crafted by Esme Jinkami Pearson, best-selling author and rising star in speculative fiction, and features Joe Martin as the fugitive doctor. In Circuit Breaker, a strange alien artifact begins appearing inside Unit's black archives. Each object is unmistakably linked to a different regeneration of the Doctor, but they've been tampered with. A corrupted energy signature of unknown origin pulses through them, and their sudden arrival has torn tiny ruptures across time and space. Unit is out of options to repair the damage and restore the timelines. The objective must be to return to the exact moment they were taken from. If not, the Doctor's adventures and universe itself could unravel. To solve the mystery, Unit calls upon a little-known incarnation of a Time Lord, the fugitive Doctor, played by Joe Martin, who returns in a central role. That annoys me right there. That line, Unit calls upon the little-known incarnation of the
Well, how the hell did they know about the fugitive Doctor in the first place?
exactly. It's just like, is Kate or was the brig just kind of like, okay, well, we're aware of them, but we
Because as far as I'm aware, Unit never met up with the fugitive Doctor.
yeah, no, this is that Captain Marvel pager at the very end of was it Infinity War that just
I hate Captain Marvel. She's so annoying.
Do you know the funny thing about it?
Miss Marvel, fine. I like Miss Marvel. She's cool.
Do you know the funny thing about Captain Marvel is
Mm.
I remember being jazzed about this, and I was kind of excited because it took place in the 90s, and I grew up in the 90s, and that was super fun. And then it got revealed to me, there was really no point to that movie except for you to buy a ticket to that movie. And I was like, well, no. And then because it was fun because they crash landed in Blockbuster Video and there was 90s references. And it's just like, do you realize that there was nothing that happened in that at all that you needed to watch to understand Endgame? And that's when I was ticked. I'm like, I did. I bought a ticket to the movie and kind of enjoyed it until I was told that there was really no point to that movie.
Mm. I was hoping in the Marvels, right? I don't know if you've seen the Marvels.
No.
Well, basically, she
I know the gist of it.
she destroys a planet, and I'm like, yeah, you need to die, like you need to be punished.
Yeah.
And she doesn't.
Her
and I'm like,
her and the 13th Doctor, both evil.
I'm like, for God's sake, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, hang on, so you're fighting against these people. I'm like, yeah, I'm siding with these aliens. Like, you destroyed their planet. Oh, okay, unwittingly. But no wonder they're pissed off. Yeah, you deserve to die at this point, or at least get punished.
Yeah.
And she doesn't. And it's like, for God's sake. Oh, because she's meant to be the hero. Anyway.
All right. But how does Unit know about her? And is she
Christ knows.
Doctor? Yeah. Is she the Doctor they expect? Joe Martin commented, I'm thrilled to tell more stories about the fugitive Doctor and cannot wait to. I like that she's excited. I am excited. And then Stephanie Davies, senior licensing, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be exciting for the whole universe because we've got nothing going because nobody likes the new current iteration of the show.
Yeah. Yeah, that is so the PR stunt, the thing that they were going for. Oh, Jesus. I did read that, and I must admit that is the first thing that I thought. I'm like, yep, that's because the DC failed. This is why they're suddenly pulling this thing out of their ass. Oh look, we're going to do a multimedia situation. I wonder why.
Well, isn't it okay? If we go back in time, so they did the Time Lord Victorious with,
which apparently was a complete success. Don't forget.
Yeah. during the lockdown, because like nothing was really going down, and so everybody was kind of doing this in a lockdown.
tweet along thing,
Uh-huh.
and like that's when like RTD met up with people, and they were like, "Oh, Russell, come back on board. Yeah, you get back on doing Doctor Who duties.
Well,
Ooh, good idea."
and then you had the time in which Chibnall was basically ruining the show, that they did the Doctor Who Doomsday thing, and so now we're in probably wilderness years.
No, definitely in wilderness.
I know,
years.
but
Not probably, definitely. Let's be honest.
yeah, but we're in wilderness years, and now we're doing a multimedia. Like whenever something is, whenever the BBC is just like, we need to make more money, and we're currently not able to because we got this lockdown going on. Multimedia thing, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
hey, the current showrunner is kind of ruining the show. What should we do? Multimedia thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
All right.
Yeah, but the thing is, and I know that I'm probably going to buy the Big Finish stuff.
Oh, you
when it
will,
comes out.
because you're a completionist. I mean, person who owns all the Omega Factor or whatnot.
Speaking of which, the other person died, didn't she, recently?
Yeah, I saw that.
Not to speak ill of the dead, but I didn't particularly like her very much because she would post things in the Big Finish listeners group, and people would post, "Oh, sorry, what did you post? I'm not able to see this image or picture," and she would bitch at them and get really snarky when they said, "Oh, can you please caption things?" "Oh, why?" "Oh, because there's blind people in the group."
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good thing that she was actually, working for Big Finish, because if she was just a standard, fan of the Big Finish listeners group, she'd get booted out because, if you don't follow all the rules like that, you'll get booted out. But you know what? You can be, quippy with jerky to other people, and as long as you work for Big Finish,
you're fine.
You're fine.
Yeah. See, power and fame, huh?
All right. Well, I guess with that, if we don't have any further to do, we will conclude this podcast.
Oh,
yeah.
I would say I've not finished it yet, but I would recommend giving Smith and Sullivan a go.
All right.
Nice to see Sarah and Harry back, and I did actually write into the podcast and basically say that now that Sadie's obviously got into the role of playing Sarah a bit more, can we please have a resolution to Sarah Jane Smith Series 3? So we'll see if that gets read out. Put to the idea, as it were.
Awesome.
So,
all right. Well, I guess with that, we will conclude this podcast, and then after you get all rebuilt and stuff like that, we'll move on to our next podcast from that point forward.
Yep.
All right. Well, you take care, Liam.
And you.
All right. You have been listening to the Doctor Who Alhambra Podcast. Doctor Who is owned and trademarked by the BBC. Doctor Who Alhambra is not affiliated with the BBC or Big Finish. No infringement is intended. Visit our website at alhambrapodcast.weebly.com or email the show at alhambraaudio@gmail.com. Tweet us at Alhambra Podcast. That is ALHAMBRA Podcast. Thank you.